What's going on, everybody? You are watching Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Patrick Siepman. And coming up on today's show, we're just going to dive into a good old-fashioned Minnesota Vikings mailbag where you guys ask me questions about our favorite football team. It's just me and you chopping it up about the Minnesota Vikings. But first question coming in here from SKOL with probably the best profile pick of all time. Absolutely love that. Would you attach 2 first-round picks with Dallas Turner for Myles Garrett? Okay, so we're at that point of the NFL trade deadline. Listen, there was a report out there that the Browns could potentially deal Myles Garrett. I don't think it's going to happen. But in terms of attaching 2 first and Dallas Turner for Myles Garrett, if the Vikings win on Sunday, I would say abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the league, and Dallas Turner has not worked out whatsoever with the Vikings. But again, giving up 2 first-round picks with a team, like I'm not saying the Vikings are in a rebuild, but you're not technically rebuilding. I don't know. The Vikings are in freaking no man's land right now. That's why it's tough to, evaluate what they're going to do. But if it was just like in a vacuum, like 2 first-round picks and Dallas Turner for Myles Garrett, yeah, sign me up for that any day of the week. I mean, Myles Garrett is that good. I mean, the guy had 5 sacks this past weekend. He's an absolute stud. So I would do it. 1, I don't think the Browns would. And 2, I also don't know if, like, right now with where the state of the Vikings are, if that makes a whole lot sense for the Vikes to go, really big fish hunting at the NFL trade deadline. But SKOL, appreciate you. Colton Brady saying, do you think this Vikings team at 3-4 is better than their record shows, or is this exactly who they are, a middle squad that can't close out games? Yeah, this is a good question, Colton. I do appreciate you. Yeah, I definitely think the Vikings record kind of shows really what they've been so far this season. Like, honestly, you're kind of lucky to be 3-4. Like, you probably should have lost week 1 to the Bears. You probably should have lost, to the Cleveland Browns. So I think 3-4 is good. But in terms of, like, if this team stayed fully healthy throughout the season, I think a record would be a lot better than 3-4. Again, maybe it's just 4-3. Maybe it's 5-2. I don't think you would get the 6-1. But yeah, maybe you could have been 5-2. Like against the Eagles, like you had every right to win that game. And even against the Pittsburgh Steelers, like if you're fully healthy in that one where you have the whole offensive line, where you have the defense, you have a good chance to win that football game as well. But I think right now with what the Vikings have put on display, with the performance this coaching staff has had and all the injuries they've been dealing with, like I can honestly say they're probably lucky to be 3-4. But this is especially getting healthy this week, this is not a 3-4 football team rolling in Detroit. I think they are a little undervalued right now. Still not a good football team, but not 3-4 like 10-point underdogs in Detroit like they are right now. Reed Southern saying, what do you have to say about our offensive line? What do you think needs to happen about it? Number 1, I think you need to fire your offensive line coach, Chris Cupper. Other offensive linemen have left the Minnesota Vikings and have looked fantastic. And other offensive linemen who have looked great at other organizations have came to the Vikings and looked bad. Like Ed Ingram left, looks pretty good. Garrett Bradbury left, he looks pretty good. Will Fries comes in. He doesn't look like the same guy that he was with the Indianapolis Colts. But honestly, I still think, like, just like this entire Vikings team, like, you really don't know. Like, that's why this has truly felt like a season from hell, because it's been tough to evaluate this team. Like, you think about all the moving around that this offensive line has dealt with, like, not only week to week, but, like, literally in the middle of the games. Like, how many times has Christian Darrisaw been pulled out of game now? Or Brian O'Neill's had to leave? Where then you're throwing in Justin School. You're throwing in Walter Rouse randomly in these games. Like, it's kind of tough to evaluate these guys. You also got a first-round rookie in Donovan Jackson developing, where he has also struggled a little bit this year. Will Fries hasn't lived up to that 5-year, $88 million contract. So, what do I have to say about it? Needs to be better. What do you think needs to happen? Get healthy. I think that'll be the best answer for that. Landon saying, would you say yes to this? Here we go. Bills get Jordan Addison, and then the Vikings get Bosa and a first-round pick. Yeah, you probably say yes to that. If you got a first for Addison, this is so tough. I absolutely hate talking about trading Jordan Addison, because I think Addison is still one of the most underrated receivers in the league. If he was a wide receiver 1 with a good offense and a good quarterback, like if Addison went to Buffalo, I think it would be very similar to when Stephon Diggs went to Buffalo, where Diggs was a very good receiver with the Minnesota Vikings. But still with the Vikes, he was kind of running wide receiver 2 with Adam Thielen, and he was still putting up really good production. He still looked amazing. And then even during his last year with the Vikings, he was a wide receiver 1. Had some good production, but I guarantee you, if Jordan Addison went to the Buffalo Bills, this guy would go for 1,400, 1,500 yards every single year. Like, he is that special wide receiver. But if you could get Bosa in a first, he would probably do it. But again, why do the Vikings need Bosa, especially with Van Ginkel coming back? And why would the Bills just like attach Bosa? Because then their edge rusher position would be, absolutely depleted. So I like your thought process there. Addison for a first. I'm still probably I don't know. You honestly stumped me. I would probably need to sit down and think about this for a couple of hours. But right now, I would say no to that deal for Jordan Addison. But if you guys could predict the score for me down below in the comment section, Week 9 matchup with the Vikings traveling to Detroit. I think it's going to be ugly. I said in our preview, 42-17. Don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout. I think it's probably going to be more about 30-33 to about 20-23. Right around there. But again, this is also a typical Vikings game that they would win, where everybody's feeling down. Nobody's giving us a chance. Even the fan base is not even giving themselves a chance to win this game. That's normal when the Vikings, pull a rabbit out of the hat and, get a victory. But you guys let me know. Predict the score for me. Vikings versus Lions this weekend. Now, I do want to give a massive, massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Harry's, a shaving company, and they have some of the best razors in the game. And for a limited time right now, our listeners here at Vikings Now can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. Now, did your old razors go way too dull, way too fast, and plus did they irritate your neck? Well, that's not the case at Harry's. And plus other razors, they cost way too much. Sometimes they're up to $30 for 8 refills. That sounds like a total scam to me, but again, that's not the case here at Harry's. And guys, I was completely blown away my first time shaving with Harry's Plus. They have an advanced pivoting system to reach every corner of your face, refined blade tech for a closer, smoother shave, and a weighted metal handle for added control and comfort. And actually, fun fact, this is Harry's heaviest handle ever. So you guys get the most control and the best shave possible. Truly will change your life. It will change your shaving experience. So please check them out. And for a limited time, we're hooking you guys up. Our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. This set includes all new Harry's Plus razor, plus 1 refined 5-blade cartridge and a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head to harrys.com/chat to claim this offer. And after you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Vikings Now by Chat Sports. But this link for you guys will be in the comment section and description of today's show. All right, let's carry on with our mailbag here. This next question coming in from George. What's going on, man? Saying, let's just say the Vikings won this weekend, moving to 4-4. And J.J. McCarthy looked good. How would you be feeling about the rest of the season, and should we make any trades? Oh, man, you don't want me to, get hammered off the purple Kool-Aid here. But, yeah, if the Vikings won this game and got to 4-4 and J.J. McCarthy looked good, I would probably be unbearable. I know myself. I know how I would react after this. I'm going to be a pain in everybody's ass if the Vikings win this game and McCarthy looks good. But should they make any trades? Even if you win this game, I don't think you should be aggressive at the trade deadline. Because you are still 4-4, and your schedule does not get easier. Now, in terms of like our playoff chances, moving on if you win this football game, we're probably feeling a whole lot better about it. But again, you don't want to kind of just push the issue here and be like, oh, we got to go win a playoff game this year. That's what we all thought before the season, but with everything that has gone wrong, it's really just about developing JJ. Like, I would love to move the 4-4. That's the most important thing this weekend, but also right near it in terms of just importance to this team moving forward for the rest of the season and also the next 10 years is that guy right there, J.J. McCarthy, looking good. And that'll be absolutely awesome. And also, this would add some juice back into this team. Like, I think this fan base is kind of, I don't want to say checked out right now, but I think we're just kind of sick and tired of the Wentz experience. And if J.J. McCarthy shows us something, he shows some flashes, and they somehow get a win in this team, if you go win in Detroit and them coming off a bye, like, then you got confidence where it's like, we can beat anybody. Like, give us the Ravens at home. We can go to Lambeau and beat the Packers. We just went to Detroit and beat the Lions. We can go to Seattle and beat the Seahawks. Now, would you win all those games? Probably not. But you used to have that confidence in that locker room where you could go beat any team any given week. How would I feel? I would be feeling absolutely fantastic. Big 097. What's going on? Should we draft a center? Absolutely, my guy. I think that's going to be one of the positions the Vikings really target here. Like, they have to. They have to find that center of the future with J.J. McCarthy. Ryan Kelly, clearly not the option. I understood their thought process this offseason of getting that veteran, getting that guy that kind of just helped J.J. McCarthy man the ship here. It's his first year starting. But, yeah, drafting a center, definitely something the Vikings need to consider. Colton Brady, also love your profile pick, by the way, saying, if the Vikings miss the playoffs again, what's the one move, not draft pick, that could flip this franchise into a legit contender? Colton, I don't mean to burst your bubble here, but I don't really think there is one. Like, if the Vikings miss the playoffs, I'd just say they go 7-10, and hopefully J.J. McCarthy looks good, and we're feeling good about him being the quarterback of the future. Even then, I don't think there's like one move where the Vikings can make because you're strapped against the cap. Like next year, the Vikings have absolutely zero cap space to spend. So I guess like really to flip it into a contender, you would have to have an unreal draft class. Like you would have to hit on your first rounder, hit on your second rounder, hit on your third rounder. Where like all three of those guys are like legit starters right away in the league. That's really the only way. Like there's not a lot of trades you could pull off. Because also you're trading for a marquee player, you're taking on his contract. Like the only way the Vikings kind of flip this around is if they really nail the NFL draft because you're getting a bunch of young talent on some cheap deals. But one move besides the draft, Colton, I just don't really think there is one. Brady then saying, I don't know you were mad, but you said TJ was a top 30 tight end on a recent show. Name 29 tight ends better than him. Challenge accepted, my friend. This is going to take a while, so let's do this. This will be fun. This might be a longer mailbag, but let's do it. All right, we're going to go team by team here. Shout out to my guy Brady then, trying to name 30 tight ends better than TJ Hockenson. We can start off with the game tonight. There's 2 on the Baltimore Ravens. Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews would take both of them. On the Dolphins, probably TJ Hockenson would be the best tight end on the Dolphins. Yeah, TJ, no tight ends there that are better than him. This might take a while. I don't know if this is the best viewing product for you guys, but the Bears, I would take Cole Kmet and Colson Loveland over them, so that's 4. Bengals, nobody there I would take. The Lions, I'm taking Laporta over them, so that's 5. Panthers, probably not a tight end I would take over them. Yeah, probably nobody there. Tucker Kraft on the Packers, absolutely. Chargers, I take Gadsden over TJ Hockenson. The Titans, nobody there. Falcons, Kyle Pitts. Probably taking Pitts over him. Patriots, Hunter Henry, taking him, so that's 8. Niners, George Kittle, absolutely. Giants, Theo Johnson. TBD, we're still at 8. Steelers, all right, Steelers, I'm taking Jonnu Smith for sure. Taking Freiermuth for sure, so that's 10. Colts, Tyler Warren for sure. Texans, no. Evan Ingram of the Broncos, probably around the same. Brock Bowers, absolutely. That's 11. Jags, probably no. Saints, no. Rams, no. Chiefs, still taking Kelsey. So that's 13. I'm taking Knox. I'm taking Kincaid. That's 15. Seahawks, I'm taking Barner over TJ Hockenson. So that's 16. Commanders, probably not. Cardinals, McBride, absolutely. Cowboys tight end, Ferguson, taking him over him. All right, so maybe I was I was overreacting a little bit. So he's probably about a top 20 tight end, but yeah, there's about 18, 19 tight ends I take over Hawk. Braden Beast saying we need a quarter bad. Even sign Gilmore back, I don't care. I don't think he would change anything. I honestly think if we signed Gilmore, we'll just end up being just pissed at Gilmore. Like, listen, he's 35 years old. This guy's probably enjoying retirement right now. I think it would be unfair for Flores to call Gilmore and say, like, hey, we need you. So I'd probably say no there. But Braden Beast, I appreciate you, my guy. And we also appreciate all of you guys for tuning in to this mailbag. Again, we'll be live here on the channel an hour before kickoff. So make sure you guys tune in then. If you guys also watch this whole mailbag, hit me with those skulls down below. We'll get on out of here. As always, Skol Vikes.